from WGEM in high definition. This is WGEM News at 10, the Tri-State's news leader.
A big step forward to build an intermodal port in Quincy. We'll tell you who's investing in the project.
After a week, the search for two teenagers missing off Florida's coast has been suspended.
And we are live at the Adams County Fair. A busy Friday night. We're going to have your weekend forecast, plus tonight's bull ride.
Good evening, everyone. It would be a game changer for economic development here in the Tri-States, an intermodal port right here in Quincy.
And it's now gained support from business leaders in all three of the Tri-States.
WGEM's Siobhan Anderson is live in the newsroom to explain more about this project. So, Siobhan, what does this mean, this support, mean for the overall project?
Well, Gina and Leslie, after years of hard work, officials say this support validates work the community has done in pushing river transportation. Now, intermodal transportation, the combination of rail, river, and road, is booming, and small Midwestern ports like Quincy are using expansion efforts to meet economic changes. The Medicare America Port Commission is using Quincy as a foundation, developing the first port here with a long-term plan for growth throughout Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. When completed, the intermodal port will bring more high-paying jobs to the Tri-States and make Quincy a global market competitor.
It gives us the ability to hopefully attract new projects, but more importantly, it gives us the ability to work with companies that are here, ADM and Prince and a multitude of other companies that can expand their business here and be more competitive because they have access to river barge traffic directly.
The Great River Economic Development Foundation is currently waiting on their latest Tiger Grant application for funding. While the ports will be completed in phases as money becomes available, officials say expanding the Quincy port for more access can have a 50-year impact on the economy. In the newsroom, Siobhan Anderson, WGEM News.
This is terrible. I mean, I want to tell you guys, you guys are back there and we're out here having all the fun. Tonight, what do we have? Believe it or not, these are fried Oreos. We're out at the Adams County Fair. We're got curly cheese fries. We have our funnel cake, which we've already dug into half of it. And then this is a lion burger right here. Made by the Lions, not made out of lion. I don't want to get any trouble or anything. Weather forecast for us for the next couple days. Well, we've got a little bit to talk about in big weather. When we get up just a couple minutes, we're going to talk about the potential for some severe weather on Saturday. But for tonight, things are going to be quiet. We've got a little bit of a partly cloudy sky rolling across the area. Overnight tonight, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible as temperatures dip down to around 65 to 66 degrees. Again, we'll give you a full check of the weather forecast. We're going to have some fun out at the Adams County Fair. Back to you guys.
Fun times indeed.
You have a lemon shake up there, too. I don't know. Maybe
so healthy eats either way.
Yeah.
All right, national news now. The Coast Guard has suspended its search for those two 14-year-old Florida boys who have not been seen since they set sail on a fishing trip last Friday.
Now, while the Coast Guard says it's done everything it can, Den Shenneman reports the boys' families have not given up.
On July 24th, two teens, Austin Stefanos and Perry Cohen, took a 19-foot boat into the waters off Jupiter, Florida for a fishing trip. They haven't been seen since. 1 week after the boys vanished, the Coast Guard suspended its search.
We believe we reached the limit for our effective search and rescue efforts.
The Coast Guard followed up on a flurry of possible sightings, and the operation covered nearly 50,000 square nautical miles. But while the formal search and rescue effort has been suspended, the boys' families insist they will carry on with volunteers, private planes, and helicopters.
The family remains committed privately to this search and rescue mission. We've had a lot of dear friends, colleagues, neighbors, the community contribute to bringing these boys home.
The father of Austin Stefanos has tried to remain positive throughout the ordeal, and he believes the boys will be found alive.
I'm giving it all I got. I'm not going to stop. I know those boys are out there. I know they're okay. They're not your typical kids. They're very strong-willed and very intelligent.
Some $340,000 in donations have poured into a fund so the families can continue to search for the boys and hope for a happy ending. Dan Shenneman, NBC News.
Some federal and state prison inmates could be eligible for federal grants to take college courses while still behind bars. The program, including federal Pell Grants, will allow on a temporary basis grants to be used to cover college costs for prisoners. Now, it will last 3 to 5 years and be open to prisoners who are eligible for release, particularly within the next 5 years. Inmates could be eligible for the money as early as next fall. The lawyer for the man accused of gunning down 9 parishioners at that historic black church in Charleston, South Carolina, says his client wants to plead guilty to 33 federal charges. But defense attorneys say they don't want that to happen. They don't want Dylann Roof to do so in court today. He says he needs to know whether the government plans to seek the death penalty.
A firefighter wore a body camera while battling a blaze at a California home. This gives an inside look into just how dangerous their job is. Take a look at this. A couple firefighters took to the roof, sawing ventilation holes for flames and smoke. Others remaining on the ground, knocking down the garage fire to get inside with hoses. Now, the family who lived there, 3 adults and 4 children, were outside. They were safe when crews arrived on scene. Damage, though, from that fire estimated at $150,000.
Wow, scary to see. Well, Zimbabwe now wants to extradite that American dentist for killing one of the country's most famous lions.
A very talked about story, and also still ahead, bull riding making its return to the Adams County Fair. We'll take you back there later in the broadcast.
From WGEM in high definition with Gene Kennedy, Leslie Van Ness, storm track weather with meteorologist Brian Inman and sports director Ben Barth. This is WGEM News at 10, the Tri-State's news leader.
Oh, God! Oh, God! I can't believe I did that! Oh, my God!
Yeah, just unbelievable. A mother who left her 1-year-old child in the car, then went shopping. This is her reaction, caught on a police officer's body camera. Hannah Sakandi told officers her child was in the car for about 45 minutes and she simply forgot the baby. 2 witnesses saw the crying baby in that hot car and got the baby out. The woman has now been charged with second-degree child abuse. Cell phone video shows sheriff's officers smashing open the window of a minivan to rescue a child who was also locked in a hot car. When the sheriff got there, he found the girl crying in the back seat. Now, the situation attracted a big crowd of concerned bystanders. Police officers smashed the window, were able to pull that girl to safety. The child's mother, she was also arrested for child endangerment.
A campaign was introduced today to prevent heat stroke in children as a result of being left in hot cars. The campaign is called Where's Baby? Look Before You Lock. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administrator says kids dying in hot cars can be prevented. They say that it's not just parents that need to stay aware. Anyone who sees a child in a hot car can do something.
Tonight, officials in Zimbabwe want a U.S. dentist sent back to their country to face justice. That after killing what many in Africa considered a national mascot. Jay Gray has the latest now on this growing international incident surrounding the death of Cecil the lion.
The hunter remains the hunted right now. Minnesota dentist Walter Palmer still in hiding 4 weeks after killing Cecil the lion, with officials in Zimbabwe today pushing for his return to Africa, where he could face criminal charges, including poaching.
The processes have started, and we are looking forward for his extradition.
More than 170,000 people have signed an online petition urging the White House to get involved.
Decisions about prosecution and extradition are made over at the Department of Justice.
Late yesterday, a representative for Dr. Palmer talked with U.S. Fish and Wildlife officials who say he's cooperating with their ongoing investigation. In a written statement, Palmer has said he relied on local guides to obtain the proper permits, and I deeply regret my pursuit of an activity I love and practice responsibly and legally resulted in the taking of this lion. Cecil was a national hero known as the Pride of Zimbabwe, a favorite of locals and tourists from around the world.
To know that something as powerful and as symbolic as Cecil can die so treacherously and so tragically, it just shows what a slippery slope we are when it comes to protecting the rest of Africa's amazing species of wildlife.
A 2011 report from the International Fund for Animal Welfare indicates more than 18,000 hunters a year travel to Africa on big game expeditions, more than half of those from the U.S., and more than 400 bringing home an African lion pelt. But one of the latest killed, Cecil, is now sparking outrage around the world. Jay Gray, NBC News.
It's United Way Day at the Adams County Fair, and the organization celebrated by announcing its 2015 campaign goal. This year's goal, $1,150,000, already well on its way. The United Way recognized several local groups and businesses who have already raised more than $160,000 for the campaign. Officials say having the kickoff at the fairgrounds allows the community to be more involved.
and it's a great opportunity to bridge the services we provide in Quincy to the services provided through the rest of the county, and to really let the county take ownership and accountability and excitement for what's happening with United Way.
The United Way is now encouraging other local groups and businesses to help them reach their new goal.
Well, new tonight at 10, riders saddled up tonight for one of the biggest events at the Adams County Fair. Riders from several states took part in the event, sponsored by Little Jess. Crowds you can see gathered in the grandstands. It was standing room only, and the bucking bulls had families on the edge of their seat tonight. That looks so terrifying to me. The rodeo included prizes for kids and participants. Everybody says this event makes them hold their breath every year.
Next on WGEM News.
Fun at the fair. That's what it is tonight. Weather is cooperating. We are going to break down the weather forecast for you. We do have the potential for some severe weather to talk about. We'll give it to you right after this.
WGEM Storm Track Weather with meteorologist Brian Inman.
All right, everybody's having fun at the fair. They had something up here tonight that I hadn't had, and I haven't had one yet, but I did see some folks carrying around. Apple cider slushy. Looked really, really good. Hey, we've got a weather forecast to talk about, so let's go ahead and get right into things. Right now, as we go through the overnight hours tonight, there may be a few scattered showers that develop across the tri-state area. As a matter of fact, earlier tonight in northern Adams County, we did have a scattered shower, or a single thunderstorm develop, a couple of rumbles of thunder and a little bit of lightning, and there's a live look out through the Hannibal Sky Cam, courtesy of folks at Tom Bolin Ford. Quiet for the folks in Hannibal right now. Again, quiet for just about everybody. As we go tonight, or look at the numbers for today, 87 for a high temp, 65 was the low. No rain in the gauge today, and the numbers still sitting in the mid-70s as we get into 10 o'clock at night. The wind flow has been light and variable throughout the night tonight, and it will continue to be so. Might have a little bit of a westerly and southwesterly component to it as we go through the overnight hours tonight, but pretty much light and variable tonight. And then as we take a look at the numbers for overnight lows, we'll drop down only into the mid-60s for overnight lows. Then tomorrow's daytime high temperatures back up into the upper 80s, back up close to 90 degrees for a daytime high temperature. So those type of numbers will also accompany with that a little bit of an increase in the relative humidity for tomorrow. So it'll be a little bit more uncomfortable tomorrow afternoon. High pressure's been trying to hold on, but there is a frontal boundary that's going to make its way down into the tri-state area as we go through Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. How is all that going to shake up? Well, scattered showers and thunderstorms that develop tonight. We'll have a similar go-round to that as we go through Saturday afternoon into Saturday night with the potential for scattered showers and thunderstorms. The difference is there'll be a little bit more instability out there and the potential for some of those showers and thunderstorms to be on the strong to severe side. So the futurecast starts up tonight. It shows high pressure sinking down to the south. As that high pressure sinks down to the south, we'll see some showers and thunderstorms erupt across portions of central Missouri and southeast Iowa and west central Illinois. So we stop it right there. It is this time frame between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock and maybe possibly up to 10 o'clock that we will see showers and thunderstorms that may be on the strong to severe side. As we go through Sunday, there may be some more scattered showers and thunderstorms that develop right at the frontal boundary. So for tonight, the temperatures drop down to 66 degrees, a partly cloudy sky. Again, scattered showers and thunderstorms that are out there tonight will be in and out. It won't be a thing for everybody that to see. Tomorrow's daytime high temperatures top out in the mid to upper 80s. Right now, we'll shoot for about 88 to 89 for a daytime high temperature. Those showers and thunderstorms, the potentials that we're talking about there are large hail and damaging wind are the primary threats. Right now, it doesn't look as if there's enough kind of shear or spin in the atmosphere to develop any tornadic activity, but we can't rule it out just yet. Tomorrow night, after an 89-degree daytime high temperature, we will still see scattered showers and thunderstorms possible as the temperatures drop down only to around 70 degrees. We'll shoot for 69 for an overnight low. And then this extended outlook, as we go through the extended outlook, temperatures, again, tail off as you take a look Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. The daytime highs on Wednesday at 82, even 80 degrees on Thursday, and a couple of the forecast models don't even bring us up to 80 degrees for a daytime high on Thursday. So you got to keep in mind what we're talking about here. We're into August, and we're talking about daytime high temperatures that may not even make it up to 80 degrees. So recap, Saturday, showers and thunderstorms possible in the tri-state area. Those showers and thunderstorms on Saturday may be on the strong to severe side. That is a check of the forecast from the Adams County Fair. Me and Mr. Cameraman here, we're going to eat up some food here in just a minute. Back to you
sure.
guys.
Thanks for sharing.
Can you bring some back? The slushie?
Yes. Apple cider slushie, Brian.
Not tonight, Gene.
Oh,
man,
bummer.
He's killing me. Yes. All right, well, still ahead for us on the broadcast, family members who are charged in connection with the shooting death of a Quincy boy were back in court today.
And ever wondered what happens to your car after you drop it off for repairs and then you leave? You've got to see this woman's surprising discovery. It's next.
Three family members of accused killer Stesan Kreider were back in court again today.
They're accused of helping Kreider get out of town after police say he murdered 12-year-old Ray Humphrey Jr. in March.
The accused killer's half-brother, Stefan Kreider III, appeared this afternoon for a pretrial hearing. His lawyers asked the judge to reconsider his bond since he's now scheduled for trial in September, not August as expected. The judge set a new bond hearing next month. Stefan III is facing 5 counts of obstruction of justice and destruction of evidence. His bond currently set at $100,000.
Now, earlier this morning, the accused killer's dad and stepmom also appeared for a pretrial hearing. The lawyer for Stefan Jr. and Julia Kreider didn't make any motions, so their trial will go forward next month. They're charged with 4 counts of conspiracy to obstruct justice, accused of Stesan and his half-brother giving them money and a car so they could leave the state of Illinois after that shooting happened March 28th.
Wait till you see this. When a Colorado woman brought her car to be repaired at a dealership, she expected it to be taken care of. But video from the dashboard camera tells a very different story. It showed a dealership employee driving this Kia Soul all over town, running errands, going to his house, different stores, accruing more than 200 miles over a 4-day period, even running a red light. The car's owner, furious, the dealership says they'll make it up to her. They'll repair the vehicle and make this right as much as they can. Also, the sales manager says the employee has been fired.
Unbelievable. Last summer's incredibly popular ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is back, and it's made its way into Fenway Park in Boston. The goal, of course, to raise awareness of ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, and money for research, all in hopes of finding a cure. Pete Frates and Pat Quinn relaunched the Icy Challenge, who both have been diagnosed. Boston Red Sox players will be the first of 30 major league clubs to participate in the return of the challenge this August.
Wow, big effort.
Cool to see.
Yes.
All right, Sean Barry is on his way for another edition of Sports Extra. He'll tell you all about, of course, the WGEM Sports Trivia Night and how much money was raised for the Adams County Little League.
Also, the Gems trying to make one final push for the playoffs. It's all straight ahead. Sports Extra coming up. Have a great weekend, everyone.